Hi, this is Jeff, and in this screencast I want to talk to you about the interactive glossary for Articulate Storyline. Now, I've been using Articulate software for about 5 years, and I've never ever implemented a glossary. And it's not that the default glossary isn't any good, it's just I've never been able to convince my clients that it's worth spending the time filling in all those terms and definitions. And most of the time, it was not because they didn't like the glossary. It is pretty default. The storyline glossary is just text-based, so we got your term and definition. And if you want to add a lot of glossary items, it's just tedious work. Articulate an import feature would be great here, but what you get a lot is they want to add media to it. And you could do that when you use engage. As you can see here, this is more media rich. If I close this preview, I've got the options to add images, video, characters, that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. But if I'm using Storyline update 4 and I've got Studio 13, there's no way for me to import engage interactions anymore, so I cannot use that. That still only works with Studio 9. And still, there's no real way to jump into a specific slide, sort of say, in my interaction. I can just go to the interaction and it always starts on the first entry. Now, I get a lot of questions during courses that I give in Studio and Storyline. How can I do that? And in the Storyline course, I always say you can always build it yourself. Often followed by disappointed looks, rolling eyes, and big sighs. Because if you're starting out in Storyline, the idea of building your own interaction, it's can be pretty daunting. But the idea is really very, very simple. As you can see here, I'm in Storyline and I've basically put together a glossary slide. I went to a master slide, as you can see right here. So I just put in some shapes and I basically took the engage interaction because I did like the design, and I made a flat version of it. So what I did, I put in a title box, got my ABC to numbers, terms, and definition part, right? So when I did that, it was just a matter of creating a slide with that layout, of course, putting hotspots on all the letters and number item, and creating a layer slide with the actual description. So this is just a text entry field, and I can add additional entries. Got a hotspot on top of that. I didn't want to go with all the button effects and rollovers. I wanted to keep it as clean as possible. So basically, I can just add a new entry and copy the hotspot, place it on top of it, and the hotspot actually just links to a slide layer that opens up, like I said. Now, what I've done after that is copy that 26 times. So from A to Z and the numbers version, that's 27 slides. And I linked my hotspots to all specific slides, copy all my hotspot areas with triggers over all these slides, saved it, and done. So now I've got an interactive glossary that I can import into any Storyline project that I have. So let's take a look. So I've imported a PowerPoint deck from the eLearning Heroes. So I've got this really nice looking e-learning course here. And what I want to do now is simply import Storyline, and I'll select my interactive glossary. Open it up, and it will load all the slides. and it will ask me where do you want to put this. So I'm just going to import this stuff. I'm going to say, oh, I'll create a new scene. I'm going to call it Glossary. I love working with caps in scene names because it just pops out a little bit more. So now it's importing my glossary into Storyline, and in a minute you'll see that it has appeared. So let's make that a little bit smaller. Voila, here it is. That's pretty nice. I'm going to minimize this. There we go. And now I can simply link to my glossary. And so I go to the main slide and I'll add, a term here. I'm going to call it armor. And I'm going to put beer here. So, and I can either put a hyperlink on this or a hotspot. I'll do a hotspot here. Rectangle. There we go. And I'm going to have that hotspot not show the layer, but open up a lightbox slide because that looks really cool. And it's going to go to the A slide because A is for armor. I'm going to do the same thing for the B slide. Just add my hotspot. Show lightbox slide. And go for the B. So let's see what that looks like, right? I'm going to preview the entire project. So here's my slide. As you can see, armor and beer are now clickable, and ideally you probably want to highlight that, give it a state, or italic or something like that. Something that really defines it as a item that's clickable for your glossary. But let's click on it, and voila, here's my glossary. I can click armor, and here's my armor information, right? And I can go through my entire glossary right now because all the slides are linked. So I can go to B and see beer and find the new entries. So that's really simple to do, and I can even take that up a notch. And by using a variable that tells me that on this slide I click armor, and so when this opens up I want this layer to appear immediately. So how do I do that? Let's take a look. So I return to my main slide where I've got the link to the glossary, and like I said, I want the term armor to appear when I go to the glossary. Now what I need to do is I need to set a variable. I'm going to call it glossary, and what this will be a text variable, and I'm going to set the text variable to the specific term that I want to visit on my glossary page. So I'm going to select the hotspot again. As you can see, it's selected here. I'm going to add another trigger, and I'm going to say adjust variable, the variable glossary. I want it to be of the value, in this case, armor, when the user clicks the hotspot. Now, you want to pay attention here to the order of your triggers, because what happens now is that when I click it, I will go to the lightbox slide, and then it will try to set my glossary variable, but I'm not here anymore, so that's not going to happen. So I'm going to put this in front of my lightbox jump. So first it's going to set the variable, then it's going to open the lightbox. That's what I want to happen. Next thing we do is we go to the slide where the actual term is, and I'm going to say add a trigger. I want to show the layer, in this case armor, when the timeline starts and when my variable glossary is equal to armor. Click OK. OK. Now let's preview what that looks like. So here's my course. I'm going to click armor, and boom, there it is. It jumps straight into the armor layer. So this is really super easy to do. It takes a little time to set up, but it's not that difficult. And again, it's a very basic glossary. Now, and as you see, well, it's nice that you'll give me this interactive glossary, but you know, it totally doesn't look the part. And that's a cool thing because you can easily adapt it, because I made a master slide of this. So I go into the master slide. I can do that via View, Slide Master, or I can simply press F4 on the slide that I want. And I can make changes here. So if I want to use the colors that are in this course, I simply change the colors of my text boxes. Format shape, go into color, and I've already selected them. And I can play around with that. So I can make this a nice orange heading. Close. I can give this a nice dark blue background. It's just a shape. There you go. And you see what's happening, right? It's already turning into the glossary that is really going to align with the course. So that's nice. I'm going to do that here too. Format shape. There we go. Okay, and maybe I want to change this one as well. What kind of color have I got left? I'm going to do orange here as well. There we go. Looks nice. Close my master view. And as you can see, all my slides have changed. If I preview now, it's going to look like it's really part of that quiz. So, how cool is that, right? And it's, it applies to all my slides. So, pretty cool. I hope you like it. Hope you like the file. Use it any way you like, and that's it.